all believe there's a place named Silent City in this world? Story time, let me tell you a short story. If you are quite familiar with history, you would recall that Malta was once controlled by the Romans. Do you remember Apostle Paul in the Bible? Yeah, so this city is also famous for its association with St. Paul the Apostle because it became shipwrecked on this island in 60 AD. At some point in the past, Medina was under Arab influence, and that's where the name Medina comes from. Maybe you are also wondering why it has an Arabic name. The name Medina means fortified place in Arabic. So coming here implies that you've stepped on a fortified place. Another interesting fact about Medina is that it was once the capital city of Malta. If you watched my previous video, you'll see the new capital city, which is Valletta. That's a more detailed video. You should see that too. Anyways, it is believed that the name Silent City came from the fact that the capital city was moved out of Medina. And this movement left Medina so uninhabited that people started to consider it to be like a ghost town. And that's where the Silent City nickname was born. The name is still fitting today as you will find many signs around the city urging you to be silent and no cars are allowed in the city other than those of a few residents and other exceptions. This has all been in an effort to maintain the silence of the city. If you arrive at Medina by the local bus, the first structure you probably see is this. It's a former clubhouse just outside the walls of Medina. It was a group of noblemen from Medina that commissioned a British architect to design the clubhouse. The main gateway to the fortified city of Medina has its own history. There are three figures above the doorway that represent the various saints linked to Malta and Medina. There's that of St. Paul, who introduced Christianity to Malta. Let's talk about the tourist attraction sites you will find in Medina, even though it's a silent city. One of the popular ones is the National Museum of Natural History. The museum is housed in a 18th century palace within the fortified city of Medina, and it has a long history to tell. The palace once served as a temporary hospital during the 1800s cholera outbreak. It also served as a sanatorium for British troops in 1860, and it served as an hospital of tuberculosis patients till 1956. But it later became the National Museum of Natural History in 1973, and it was open for public viewing. The display areas cover various topics, including local biodiversity and ecology, human evolution, skeletal structures, and lots more. Medina Glass is a shop you have to see. It's a very old business that was set up in the 1960s, making it Malta's first glass-making company. For decades, Medina Glass was known for primarily producing small vases and bowls that appealed to tourists who were visiting the islands. But presently, there are larger, more colorful, and expressive vases and bowls. There are so many things made out of glass here. It's definitely worth stopping by at this shop. Because even if you don't want to buy anything, but you might actually get tempted to buy things because the products are beautiful. They definitely offer shipping. So if you see what you like, but you can't travel back with it, they'll definitely ship it to you. You just need to discuss with them. I guess you love what you see, right? But why not take a moment to subscribe to this YouTube channel? When you subscribe, I'll definitely bring more of global content to your screen. You can also turn on notifications so as to know when a new video is published. narrow streets of Medina. You'll get to see St. Paul Square, and one of the most important sites in this square is St. Paul Cathedral. The Metropolitan Cathedral of St. Paul is also called the Medina Cathedral, and by its name you could tell that it was dedicated to St. Paul the Apostle. The cathedral was founded in the 12th century, and history has it that the church was built on the site where Publius, the Roman governor, met St. Paul following his shipwreck on Malta. The Carmelite Priory is the first priory in Malta to be open to visitors in order to share with contemporary people the Carmelite heritage handed down from one generation to the other. Carmelite friars living here share their lifestyle with visitors who wish to pay a visit in the historical spaces or to organize spiritual and cultural events. There's an observatory deck in Medina, a balcony actually, and this is the view you'll get to see. It's absolutely free to come here. This Medina Ditch garden is so beautiful. I literally spent about 40 minutes in this garden just chilling because it has benches and it feels safe too. It's so relaxing to just sit here, chat with friends, or just enjoy the natural breeze. Rabat is a small town just outside of Medina. It's actually walkable because it's pretty small. Rabat was part of Melita, the ancient Roman city, over 2000 years ago. Later, the Arabs named the fortified inner area Medina, while the outer area was called Rabat, which is the Arabic word for suburb. It has narrow streets, historical houses, and a few attractions. But let's see what's there to see in Rabat. Basilica of St. Paul is likely the most important attraction in Rabat. After the alleged shipwreck on the island in 60 AD, it was believed that St. Paul stayed in the grotto under this basilica. Paul was on his way from Cyprus to Rome to go face trial. St. Paul lived in the grotto for 3 months while he was promoting Christianity here. He was also performing miracles. He also healed the father of Publius. You can look it up in the Bible. I think it's in the book of Acts, chapter 28, verse 8. Or better still, you can read the whole of chapter 27 and 28. Isn't this interesting? To relate with what is written in the Bible. Ever since, St. Paul Grotto has been famous for its miraculous healing. If you're consistent with this channel, you know how much I love to dine at Indian restaurants at most of my destinations. And there's the Indian restaurant I tried in Rabat. It's not just Indian, they also have Maltese food. So if you're open to trying Maltese food, you can give it a trial. But I definitely enjoyed my Indian cuisine. There are only a few attractions in Rabat, but the ones mentioned were the only ones I saw, and probably the most interesting. Since Medina and Rabat are small cities, half a day is definitely sufficient in exploring the city. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so as to know when a new video is published.